Hello everyone, it's Laffy Traffy. This is chapter 1003, Night on the Board. So, interesting change here. The official translation does not have Go in the title. I'll be honest, I forgot the Go game was a thing, and it's not super popular here, but they should still mention it. They don't even bring it up later in the chapter when Cipher Pol is literally using it as a reference for the battle's numbers. Why wouldn't they point it out? Oh well, I mean, you can see it in the manga panels, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. We are getting spoiled with the continuation of the fight. We split off a little bit further on in the chapter, but we come right back, and hopefully the next chapter will continue right where that left off, because talk about a cliffhanger. But let's start from the beginning. The cover page. It's a cover art request of a little scorpion giving Reiju a flower and confessing his love to her. The scorpion is very cute and kawaii, and I'm sure he loves her little poison aesthetic going on, so it's a very, very cute scene. Oh, there's actually a sign saying poison in the background. Is it a poison cafe? Why would poison be on a restaurant sign? That's where they met? I mean, that's a beautiful love story, really. Big dichotomy between the cover art requests and what's actually going on in the meat of the chapters, which is just insane. So let's get to that. But we open up to action, and I mean action. And Luffy looks like he's actually wearing down Kaido, even a little bit, and that's impressive. He's punching away and slams Kaido to the ground. I really like the point of view for the rest of the fighters. This panel angle really accentuates how Luffy stands above the rest of the supernova there as they watch him from below. However, this achievement was soon balanced by Luffy falling out of fourth gear. I mean, you can see Luffy is wheezing on that first page, so you know that he is running out of time, but I did not know that he was going to be in and out so quick. Ryuo is super powerful hockey, so I assume Luffy was in gear 4th for so short a time, because it's just how much hockey he's unleashing time and time again. It clearly did damage, as Kid pointed out, but this doesn't really set a good standard for the rest of this fight. I mean, realistically, how long do we think this fight will last? Katakuri's fight lasted half a day, 13 or so hours, while big tier fighters fight for over a week, like Aokiji and Akainu, and Ace and Jinbei. And while I'm hoping it won't last quite that long, it's still not going to be short. There's no way. How many times will Luffy have to go in and out of 4th gear? Is it always 10 minutes between resets, or does it get harder each time? Law, of course, is the one telling the others the details about Luffy's form because he's seen it all firsthand in Dressrosa, when he had to help protect Luffy from Doflamingo along with the rest of the citizens of Dressrosa. Even Zoro's barely seen Gear 4th and all it can do. Luffy's used it a few times before now, but the other supernova have a clear stage to watch it now up against Kaido. Until it ran out, of course. So he slams Kaido to the ground, and like I said, Kaido really does look damaged. He gets back up later, obviously, but still, it's working. The few panels with Kid watching and commenting on Luffy's abilities really stood out to me here. There was shock and surprise, then he was even impressed, and he complimented Luffy. What's this all about? It's certainly a change of character from the usual, "Damn it, I'm not gonna let you take all the credit and show me up, I'm so much better than you, blah blah blah." Just the recognition from Kid, in my head at least, is impressive for Luffy. To clarify, we as the readers know, and anybody watching this fight, know that Luffy is superior. But the thing is that Kid doesn't think so. And it's only now that Kid is actually showing some respect here, and I think that's great. Now, Big Mom over here is taunting Luffy and belittling him for running out of steam so quick. Yeah, okay, Big Mom, we all saw you shitting your pants just a few seconds ago, so don't act so high and mighty. She comes down with a happy mother's blaze, which is pretty hilarious. I'm a fan of play on words and puns, and it certainly fits her theme. Zoro coming in clutch again, saving Luffy again and again and again. We need a counter just to see how many times Zoro saves Luffy's ass. You really couldn't ask for a better right-hand man. Big Mom's attack explodes in the background behind Kid and Killer as they rush to keep the pressure up on Kaido. The dialogue in the background was a little confusing, but I assume it is Big Mom in the background chasing around Luffy, so she must be the one saying, "Give me Straw Hat!" And to which Law responds with a counter shocker to her balloon-looking ass. This is also the first attack launched / hit on Big Mom, so good job, Law, for starting to spread out the damage a bit. They're gonna need to. And I was really hoping that Countershock was going to affect Big Mom a little more. I know it's not as powerful as Gamma Knife, but, you know, it bypasses their super hard skin, so take some damage, for God's sake. They are just tanking it. At this point, I'm kind of worried for Law. How many more of these bad boys has he got in stock? I remember all of his attacks being pretty draining, but we'll just move on. Kaido starts rising once more from the smoke as he twirls into a dragon twister, which literally causes tornadoes to come raining down from the sky. These two really are natural disasters, as is stated multiple times. Oh my god. Hold on. Can you imagine these attacks from Big Mom and Kaido while they were on the same ship with Whitebeard? The man who can rend the sky, land, and sea? We've got lightning, wind blades, tornadoes, firestorms, and then add earthquakes to that. My god, no wonder they were unstoppable. That's not even their captain, Rocks. And then let's take a beautiful moment to remember that Roger and Garp? Yeah, they beat him. What I would give to see that fight, but that's a whole nother story. Back to Kaido and his Dragon Twister. He really should have trademarked it because Zoro hits him with his own Black Rope Dragon Twister. But before that, everyone's knocked away from Kaido, including Luffy from Zoro's hold, and Kaido just eats him. Gives him the good old gum gum munch munch. This pushes Zoro to unleash his awesome looking Dragon Twister here, and he cuts Kaido. We have seen it. Finally, we knew he could do it. And although Kaido's head is still attached, we know we're going in a fine direction. And as Zoro takes his Dragon Twister stance, it is awesome to see Enma's Haki standing out in the spectral dragon form. I thought at first the black rope part of the name was Enma's part, but it's actually always been called that, even back in Fishman Island when it was first used. Other translations have it as Kala Sutra. Kala Sutra? I'm probably really messing that word up. Great Dragon Twister. Kala Sutra is one of the 8 levels of hell in Buddhism, or so I've read. That was just some interesting lore I learned. This power attack makes Kaido spit out Luffy. Luckily, because that would have been awkward. I wonder what would happen if Kaido eats Luffy, then turns into human form? Nah, actually, never mind. I'm alright now thinking about it. Kaido senses the Haki power emanating from Enma as he singles out the source of his pain. I guess he didn't really make the connection earlier that it was Odin's sword, but I'm worried that they're gonna start trying to disarm Zoro. That'd be their best bet. If they can chuck Enma off the mountain, then either Zoro can't cut Kaido, or someone has to go get it, which would weaken the force up top. It's just that every time any of the supernova here are singled out for being an extraordinary threat, I instantly get worried for them. Kaido and Big Mom aren't the average stupid villains, and they seem like they can be pretty tactful, so they need to watch out. Kaido sends out more wind blade things, just originating from his Dragon Twister move instead, but the same result happens as it's dodged. Kudos to Killer for doing the old Zoro redirect with his blades. Shows some mastery there if it's anything like his wind scythes. And now, for the first time since the fight started, we pan over to see what's going on elsewhere. Downstairs, specifically, as the roof is caving in. Rightfully so. There's a whole lot of stuff going up there. I'm surprised it's lasting this long. We see some surprising guests here. CP Aegis Zero. Now, we saw them in the Flower Capital with Orochi last, but I was under the impression that they had left after he made those demands. Apparently they were invited to the little tea party and are just hanging out as the commotion continues around them. They're commenting on how their supplier is dead, and we see Orochi still dead. Personally, no surprise there. The CP Aegis Zero agents show their go boards, representing the Allied forces versus the Yonko, 27-5. In this circumstance, the Allied forces are greatly outnumbered, as we knew, and are almost certain to fail in their perspective. That is, if the executives aren't defeated. That's the key that these agents mention. It then goes over all the major Straw Hats and Samurai and Yamano and Beppo. Oh my god, Law's crew is fighting there too. I was wondering where they were since we saw Law alone at the Poneglyph, but now they're here and fighting, and this is the first time we see Sachi and Penguin with weapons. They're literally only ever seen them fight in Sabaody with some kicks and punches with Beppo. And now Sachi has a sword, Penguin has like a bow staff, which is awesome and unique, and they're just yeeting the beast pirates around as the beast pirates run away crying. I hope we see more of them. And yeah, all the other fighters are doing cool stuff too, I'm sure. Point is, CP Ija-Zero see failure in their future if the Allies don't overcome their enemies. They really emphasize the need to defeat all of Kaido's officers, not just Kaido and Big Mom. Can't wait until Big Mom's crew come along, said no one ever. That is, unless there's a certain Mochi boy somehow showing up as well. This shines a light towards the rest of the fighters below, who are also in tough battles. But that's just what the Straw Hats do. My real concern is Cipher Pol staking out the fight and cashing in on who's ever beaten down or unconscious or too tired to fight. I was thinking Blackbeard might be sneaky in this way, but what if the government does something awful? Now that their supplier Orochi is dead, they don't really have any ties here, business or otherwise. So they're not worried about who wins, they just want the most destruction so they can finish the victors off. There sure are a lot of players in this game. We now journey back up to the rooftop to see some surprised-looking captains. As you see dragon claws wrapped around his club. As we unfortunately don't get the full reveal of the hybrid form, but it's gonna be shown next week! No break! I was freaking out thinking we were gonna get it, but alas, next chapter it is. So the fact that Kaido is already going into his hybrid form says a few things. First is that it implies he possibly needs it, because he sees them as worthy foes. As he mentioned before, they're not just suicidal fools. It's for sure his strongest form, so he is getting serious. Also, this impression is added to because he and Big Mom comment that they're having fun now. This might be belittling at surface level, however, it's a common thing for super strong fighters who normally never have anyone able to put up a fight against them to say that they're having fun because they just love the fight and in their position rarely get to do so. So the way I see it, it's actually a pretty nice compliment to the new generation that Big Mom and Kaido state that they're having fun now. Just maybe my perspective though. The second thing that Kaido going into hybrid form means is that he is getting serious. Like, really serious. We didn't see him go into hybrid form fighting all of the scabbards. I mean, maybe it wasn't shown since it skipped through the fight, so who knows. But he's using it now for sure. And Luffy's out of commission. Nothing good is going to happen. I'm really afraid that without Luffy taking the lead, I don't know if the other four can keep up even for 10 minutes. Someone is going to have to stay with Luffy at all times to protect him. Again, Big Mom and Kaido are not stupid. Well, for the most part. They're going to target Luffy. Is Zoro going to have to keep Luffy with him? Zoro looks like he's doing the second most amount of damage to Kaido, alongside Law. But if not Zoro, then same issue with Law babysitting instead. Law can teleport easily and might be able to throw Luffy somewhere? I know how much he just loves doing that. I mean, you think Kid or Killer is going to sit on the bench for 10 minutes for Luffy? Hell no. This battle is turning for the worse. But god am I excited for where it takes us. Imagine if next chapter is where we cut away to other fights and don't even revisit the roof team. Don't leave us hanging, Oda. I mentioned this in my reaction, but I'm really hoping Kaido looks awesome in his hybrid form, especially now that it's being so hyped up in silhouette. Personally, I just haven't been super wowed with any of the Dino Dragon hybrid forms. I said Drake looks kinda silly, and so does Ulti in her hybrid, but I'm keeping my hopes up nonetheless. One big thing I noticed just looking at the silhouette is his size. Overall, the outline looks very similar to his base human form with the horns and the hair, a few extra horns in fact, but he's kinda enormous. He's normally shorter than Big Mom, and unless there's some wonky perspective going on here, he is over twice the size of her. And she's standing on Zeus. I am so ready for this design. And we don't even have to wait that long because did I mention there's no break again? That'll make 3 chapters in a row. We are keeping this hype going. So let me know who you think is standing out the most in this fight so far. And what plans do you think the Cipher Pol have in store? Things aren't looking too good for the aftermath of this fight. Also, make sure you subscribe and check out my other videos where I'm reviewing the differences of the One Piece manga versus the anime. While you're at it, check me out on Twitch and Twitter for more One Piece and gaming content. As always, have a great day, follow your dreams, and check me next time. Bye!